everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali and I am here back to explain you the lesson Challenges in Improving Agricultural Production. Extensive usage of chemical fertilizers or chemical pesticides or chemical insecticides can cause various problems in the environment. So, the indiscriminate use of pesticides and insecticides should be avoided in order to balance the food chain and also in order to balance the various aspects or the processes that carry out in the environment. And the farmers should always take care of spraying a limited amount of the pesticides or the insecticides in their fields so that it does not disturb the environmental balance and also it doesn't disturb the food chains of our ecosystem. Let us discuss about some natural pest controlling methods. In our nature itself, some pest controllers are present, that is insects and bacteria. These are the pest controllers that are present in our nature itself. Some of the insects like spiders, dragons, chrysolomirids, ladybird, beetle and many more, they are called as friendly birds because they do not damage the crops and moreover they eat the insects that damages the crops. So, in this way they are helping in preventing the damage to the crop. They are helping to protect the crops from the harmful insects. So, the harmful insects are larvae of jacids, thrips and stem borers. These are the insects that damages the crop, that feed on the leaves and make holes on them. So, in this way they are damaging the crop and also affecting the crop yield. So, these insects, the friendly insects eat the harmful insects and helping in increasing the crop production to the farmers. The next one is bacteria. Bacteria like Bacillus thuringiensis and Trichoderma species. These two bacteria are very helpful in protecting the crop from the pests or the insects. They eat or they feed on the eggs of the stem borers and the tobacco borers. Here stem borers and the tobacco borers are the insects that damages the crop. So, as they are feeding on the eggs of stem borers and tobacco borers, in the egg stage only they will be killed by these bacteria, so that there will be no any damage to the crop by these insects. In this way, the insects and the bacteria are the natural pest controllers. These are the biological agents that can be helpful in increasing the crop yield and also it helps in protecting the crops from getting damaged by any insects or by any other pests. So, this is about the natural pest controlling methods. Let us have a quick recapitulation of the lesson Challenges in Improving Agricultural Production. So, in this lesson we have discussed about the challenges, how to overcome the challenges in order to increase the crop production. So, whenever we want to increase the crop production, then we should know or we should have the knowledge about the usage of water, about the soil type, seed, fertilizers and pest control. The farmer should provide better water facilities to the fields and they should know which type of soil it is and in this type of soil which types of seeds can be grown. They should know about these things and fertilizers and pest controls should be applied at an interval of time in a proper manner. So, these things, if the farmers followed these things in a if these things are followed by the farmers in a proper manner, then they will get the high yield. Now, to get the high yield, the three methods has been given. The first is high yielding varieties HYV. The second one is high yield crop management methods and the third one is crop production. High yield varieties can be obtained by the process called hybridization. So, here hybridization means if we compare the two plants, let us take an example of rice plant. So, the two different quality of rice plants are grown in the fields and when we compare the desirable and the undesirable characteristics of these plants, then here this rice plant shows the low product or it gives the low product, but these are high resistant to the diseases, whereas this plant gives high product but they are not resistant to diseases. So, in this way one type of the rice plant has some desirable characters and the other one is also having some desirable characters. When we do the cross pollination between them, then all the desirable characters can be seen in an offspring. That means a new plant which can be arises by the cross pollination of these two plants is called as hybrid, which shows the desirable characteristics, and these hybrids are developed by the scientists, and they are also searching for the hybrids of different crops. The next is high yield crop management methods. There are certain methods by which we can increase the crop production. The first one is irrigation. Water is an essential element for agriculture and for the growth of the plants. So, irrigation, the water facilities should be maintained properly in order to increase the crop production, and here water should be available in an excess amount so that the water is absorbed by the plants, and this water is used by the plants in carrying out the process of photosynthesis. If water is not available in the soil, if less amount of the water is available in the soil, then the rate of transpiration and the rate of photosynthesis gets decreases. That can affect the growth of the plants and also decreases the crop production. So, here the irrigation or the water facilities should be maintained in a proper way in order to get the higher yield. The next is plant nutrients. As we need nutrients and we get the nutrients from the food, the plants also need nutrients to carry out the different activities in their body. So, these nutrients are of different kinds. The nutrients which are required in a larger amount by the plant body, they are called as macronutrients. For example, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And the nutrients which are required by the plant body in a smaller amount or in the lesser quantity, that nutrients are called as micronutrient. And here we can take the example of iron, manganese, zinc, chlorine and many others. So, in this way the different kinds of nutrients should be available in the soil in a proper amount so that it can be absorbed by the plants and the plants can utilize them to carry out the different activities. There are certain methods given here. Which can be implemented by the farmers in order to increase their crops. In order to increase their crop production, the first one is crop rotation. It is a method in which the two different crops are grown alternately, so that the nutrients which are present in the soil, they can be balanced. The nutrients which are absorbed by one crop, they can be supplied by the other crop. In this way, the mutual distribution of the nutrients is established and the proper amount of the nutrients can be absorbed by the different plants. The next is mixed cropping. In this type, there are many rows present in the field, and in this rows, the two different crops can be grown in a combination. So, the nutrients can be evenly distributed among them and a mutual distribution of nutrients is established, and the good or the proper amount of the nutrients can be available for the growth of the plants. The next is root nodules. In the leguminous plants, the roots show some nodules on them, and these nodules are called as root nodules. In these nodules, some nitrogen fixing bacteria is present, and this bacteria helps in adding the nitrogen into the soil. So, it is contributing to the soil by adding the macronutrients in them. Organic manure is the plant and animal waste. The waste of the plant and the animals can be used as a manure. They can be thrown on the fields. So, these decaying matter can be converted into some usable form by the microbial action, and these can help the plants to grow well. The next is green manure. Green manure is nothing but the green plants that are used as a manure. Before the growth or before the agriculture of the actual crop, the farmers go for the agriculture of, or the farmers go for the production of certain plants. After the production or after these plants are grown in their field, they are crushed down, they are ploughed into the soil and added into the soil to provide proper nutrients, to add the proper quantity of the nutrients into the soil. They are crushed down, and after this the actual crop is grown. So, the actual crop can get all the nutrients which are added up in the soil. The next is vermicompost. It is a compost made by the farmers by using some beds and earthworms. Earthworm culture is made into the beds and this is sprayed into the fields to increase the crop yield. Soil testing centers are also established in many villages so that the soil is tested before it gets, before the agriculture. We need to test the soil in order to know the suitable crop to be grown in that type of soil, and also to know the soil nutrients profile. Panchgavya is also a technique by which we can add the nutrients to the soil, and in this technique the farmers use 5 products of the cow, and these 5 products are added up to make a manure, and this manure is sprayed or it is thrown onto the fields that adds the nutrients into the soil. Last one is organic farming. In this type, or it is a method in which there is no usage of chemical fertilizers, pesticides or insecticides. Instead of using all these chemicals, the farmers use biofertilizers and they implement some biological methods to grow the crops. So these are certain methods that needs to be followed by the farmers in order to increase their crop production and also to maintain the proper balance of the nutrients into the soil. The nutrients can be balanced by following these methods. The next is crop production. How can we protect the crop from weeds, microbes and animals? Weeds are the unwanted plants. So if the unwanted plants are grown in between the crop plants, then they should be plucked out, or we should spray some weedicides or the chemicals that can kill that weeds, or the farmers can use some machines like pluffer or roller to remove the weeds from the field. If the microbes or the microorganisms are damaging the crops, then this can also be prevented by some natural methods, like farmers can build some homes to the birds, and if the birds come and live in their home, they eat the larva which damages the crops. They eat the larva that is damaging the crop. In this way, naturally we can control the pests and the worms. Then here insects. Insects are useful in some way and it also harmful in the other way. So it is useful in pollination process and it is harmful as the larva of some insects feeds on the leaves and they make the holes that damages the crop. So to prevent the damage that is caused by the insects, we can use some insecticides. To control the damage which is caused by the microorganisms, we can spray some fungicides or the other chemicals into the field. The next is crop production from insects. Insects are the ones that helps the plants in the process of pollination, but some insects are harmful to the crops. As the larvae of some insects feed on the leaves, they make the holes in them. To control the damage which is caused by the insects, the farmers can go for certain biological or the natural methods. They can build some homes to the birds, and the birds, when they come to the field, they eat the larva which is damaging the crop. In this way, naturally we can control the insects or the pests in the field. Grazing animals. The grazing animals can also damage the crops. So to prevent the damage that is caused by the grazing animals, the farmers arrange the electric fences around their fields. This is about the challenges in improving agricultural production. If the farmers employ all these methods and if they have the knowledge to control and if they have the knowledge about the different biological methods that can be followed in order to increase the crop production, then we can overcome all these challenges and the good product will be obtained. So with this, we have completed our lesson. Thank you.